Chill vibes tonight, chill vibes tonight. Laid back life, laid back. No stress, no fight, no stress, no fight. Throwing parts together, throwing parts. Crafting all night, all night. Get ready to build, get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing parts together. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right.
All right, let's get to some, oh, hold on. Let's get to some, whatever it is we're doing. I'm having some major audio issues, so this is sort of a test stream. But I did get home from work at a halfway decent hour, which meant that I could do this. So let's see what happens. All right, good evening. It's me, Kevin C. here at X-Panch Gaming with sort of a test stream, but we're going to be playing some WindRose. I'm going to try and get my audio sorted so that when I do my normal day streams, we can get that out of the way, because Wave 3 changed their audio. Anyway. Good Thursday. And it's an evening for me on this May the 14th of 2026. And I've got, about 7 minutes before the 5 p.m. hour, at least from where I'm sitting. I know some of you may still be sitting there in the past, and some are somehow in the future, but whatever present you happen to be in as you're catching this, I do hope it's going good for you. All right, let's do some audio stuff. Let me know if one or the other things are too loud, not loud enough, and all of that fun stuff. Because this new wave link, and with that said, let's get on over to some game. And we're going to mute the browser audio. In fact, we're going to pause it altogether. And we're going to get into some WindRose here. All right. Oh, yeah. Yep. WindRose. There we go. All right, that's better. Yeah, there's always this one moment. I try to load the game in before I start, but it isn't always possible. Actually, I should keep that going. Uno momento, please. Again, my apologies. I'm trying to figure out why things are not doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. And I am, as I said, just trying to get things going here and figure out how all of this is going to work. Anyone who ends up showing up here, my apologies. We will get this remedied at some point. That's for sure. What I don't understand is alright, so I should be able to, but it doesn't do it. I'm supposed to be able to listen to my own damn mix. But I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to have to do a little more research on this bit. But as long as y'all are reading me, that's what matters. Why is the global not working? Like when I'm not streaming, it's fine. But as soon as I start streaming, everything gets all wacky. And I cannot explain it. So there's a main input, and I know we'll get to the game. My apologies. There's a main input, which if I mute that main input, I should not be getting anything audio-wise right now, but I am. And that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to have to definitely look into why that's doing that. All right, let's get into the game. I needed to just start some audio stuff here. We do have a bit of, like I said, I got some audio issues going on, and we got to sort them. That is a definite plus. So please let me know about any levels or anything of that nature. Let me know how we're doing. That would be wunderbar. I am going to be going back and forth between things, so please bear with, as I said. But we'll eventually get to just playing. I'm trying to do it now, but there's nobody here. So I'm kind of hoping, if you want, fast forward through this part. Hopefully somebody will show up and we can go from there. So yeah, I mean it's been out a few months, and I should probably get on their Discord and see what's going on, and then be like, why is this doing this? You said it should do this. I followed your online tutorial, El Gamado. But for some reason, it doesn't want to do what it says it wants to do. Ooh, pardon me. Charming. And I made my first AI-generated thing, which kills me because I'm an artist. Or I was at one point in my life, anyway. That window's in backwards. And I've been messing around a little bit with the building. I'm still trying to get the game rolling. I think I'm going to alter this. I don't dig on. I think I'm going to try something that I normally wouldn't do. But why not? I'm not used to building specifically, if that makes sense. And I'm definitely not used to building in the older fashion. Is that a completely different window? All right, that opens out. I guess they're in the right way. Okay. And I'm going to have to build some scaffold, which is not very fun. And we actually might throw on some music while we build. See, I can't adjust and then the minute I do streaming, I can't switch between my frickin' speakers or my headset. And it says add audio out, and I did. I bet you I have to restart once I do that. I hope somebody computer literate comes on and watches. All right. I'm gonna put on some music. Let me know if it's too loud, not loud enough, etc., etc. And if they don't have some sort of porthole window, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. And I'm right now, like, all right, for if you're going to watch this later and you don't know anything about what I generally do in a game, is I like to build. But I'm oddly one, I'm used to, and we're going to take out the windows and move stuff around, you know, once I how do I put this? I'm used to science fiction, you know, building with No Man's Sky. That's where I came from. And that's what I'm used to doing, right? So now I have to get into, you know, actual structural building, not fantasy, you know what I mean, sci-fi building. It's a very different departure for me. Hey, JL Green, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. I am having major audio issues. Computer and audio, that's a very, very touchy subject. But Wavelength just changed up their software, and it's supposed to make it easier, but I found the other one easier because even though this seems easier, it doesn't seem to work the way it says it's supposed to work. So I don't really know what's going on. Or it works better with OBS Studio and not regular OBS. You know what I mean? Or I think that's the, you know, so, and I would rather use OBS. One, because it's where I'm all set up. But hopefully there will be some updates and whatnot, and I will, you know, I will go from there. All right, we need to build scaffold, which I really don't want to do, but I'm going to do it. Because then it gets in my way in my view, and I got to, you know, build it and delete it, and all that wackadoo. So it's kind of a pain in my behind. So please let me know the audio and if you are receiving it. And I have a feeling right now OBS is just not really talking to it, even though I told it to. And it supposedly audio, I have it just where you told me to do. And just what the tutorial told me, and it is not doing it. All right, we need to make old school scaffold. Because you know how much I love to do that. And for this reason alone, you have a build camera. Just put it as a build camera. You know? You take that audio sounds here. Sounds okay. Anything need to be up or down? What are you watching on, JL? Jarell. See, and this is what kills me because there's no copy paste. YouTube on your tablet? Okay. Are you cranked on your volume? Or are you like at a midway point? You know what I mean? Could have done this in there too. I don't know why I did this. Oh, I know why I did. There's a reason. Because I'm crazy. No, because I want to be able to get up top to the roof if I need to. And I'm still getting used to directionality with... and I could have pulled this from, you know, any one of the walls. But I wanted it specifically to not line up to any of that. Okay. So there's nothing that is overbearing. And actually, yeah, so I can delete this. I knew there was a reason I was doing separately. I just couldn't remember. All right, so now... I want to get rid of you and you. And you for now. And I want to do... No, I don't. Not necessarily that. Right on, JL. I hope your workday goes by quickly with little to no aggravation. It's a job. There's going to be aggravation. Unless you absolutely 100% love your job like I used to. When I was tattooing. And then life took hold. You need to be able to pull that back too, because now I got to go through and delete all of this crap. You should be able to draw back. Know what I mean? No. Not sure if I'm liking this yet either. No. Nay. And there should be a multiple delete. I don't know if there is one on controller or not. Yeah, and if they don't make this for console, they're being foolish. No, that's not going to look right. No concrete pillar or beam. That would be nice. Like it needs some trim before it hits that roof panel. And then this comes up. Near this one, right? Alright, now that goes there. Now what does this look like? I don't like that. And that doesn't go on top of the beam. No, it wants to go to the wall, not on the beam. And it doesn't even want to snap to this beam. It is all about the wall. Okay. There needs to be a quarter version of this. Unless I do what? Unless I do this. No, because then that's still the same. Yeah, you are you are a quarter. All right. So that is where that is, unless I want to do... And I don't. Okay, so that's going to go here. I guess. I know nobody is expecting me to be streaming right now, so All right, I'm going to do one side, and actually we'll do the side that's easier to deal with without the doorway in the corner. Needs to be a beam big enough to fit that. All right, because then that ends on that. All right. All right, we'll just do it. We'll just do it. I'll see what happens. Doesn't really matter anyway. And truly, it does not. For it is a game. We are new to it and experimenting with it and trying to have fun. And that's what it's all about. All right, pillars, beams, roofs. There you are. Do we want to use up? Which one are you? You are not for this. Or are you? You are not. I didn't think so. You are... this for right now because it's all I have. What I dig about this build mechanic, though, is things like this. Even though I haven't built it, you know, I can walk on it, which is a bonus. Simple. Not too crazy. Hey, Levi Rivers. What's going on? How you doing? Right. Yeah, Levi, I'm also doing sort of an audio test. So if you can let me know if things need to be adjusted. What? You should be stable enough. I don't believe you. Alright, now I should be able to delete you. It's so weird for me to build in this style. I've never I've never built in this style before, so this should prove to be something. Those don't stack on each other, do they? No. That looks dumb. Need something to close this off. I may have to do that manually.
Remarkable times we live in.
Yeah. Sure. I gotta go on an iron expedition at some point. Of course, we're out of coal. Or, yeah, charcoal. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go too long because I do have to work tomorrow. Although I will more than likely, unless things change overnight, be streaming tomorrow. You know, a bit later in the after, you know, earlier than now, but later than I usually do. I only have one job currently, which is fine. I'm up for a short day. My body could use it. And then tomorrow I have a feeling it's going to be a non-fun day. So yeah, just let me know what's very low. Let me know what's very low. Levi. Is the audio low? Is it overall low? Okay, voice audio is good. I have the game audio down. I was listening to, you know, the normal build music that I have permission to use. Yeah, I have a feeling that this with standard OBS doesn't work as well for some reason. This new Wavelink software. All right, I got some food. Of course, now I used up a bunch of my wood, which I've been scrounging for. I had way more than that. I didn't use that much building it. You son of a biscuit. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna go looking for wood. I can't believe that. All right, stones are full. Clay, we're good. Plant fiber, we're pretty good. This should actually not be here. That should be here. And that should be here. All right, then. Eating through wood. Yeah. This was full, and then we just made... Plus, I had a little bit in the other one, but I could have sworn I had way more wood than that. I know I am now out of ingots. It's such a pain. It's like this constant... You know, it is what it is. You know, a creative mode I would like at some point without having to mod. What did you think of the thumbnail for the stream? Or did you not notice? Yeah, this is somewhat of a pain. It is, totally. But I figured, what the hell? Everybody else is doing it. Guess I'll jump off the bridge. It's interesting. I don't know if I will. I mean, I'm going to have fun with it for a little bit, obviously. But that is supposedly, I mean, if you look real close, it kind of looks, it's like, that's me if I were perfect. You know, if the lighting were perfect, everything were perfect. Then you got to back out, and then it registers as a snap. That's weird. You're gonna have to go lower. Yeah, this build mechanic is funky. Some of it's really great. But right now, some of it is not. It just needs to be a build camera. Like, everyone needs to stop trying to get fancy and weird and funky with it and, you know, doing their own thing, and just put a freaking build camera in. You know, let people be creative. We could probably come down on that a little bit. Although, you know, you're already part way there. Just go the rest of the distance. And this needs to be fixed. If I shut this off, you shouldn't have to back out to, you know, redo or to reset the, you know, whatever. And now this, you know, and because you don't have a build camera, like, this is slipping in a bunch of weird ways. And now I gotta go on. But it should be, I could go left and right on the D-pad, for example. You know, instead of having to, you know, I mean, again, I know it's early access, so I'm just voicing what I feel, right? At the moment, what I think could be improved upon. I mean, I got a good 10 years in a building game, so I'm not saying that means anything, but I think I know a thing or two that would be helpful and beneficial. And again, you know, it's about being creative. And you're trying to, you know, don't tell me in this game, you know, you got pirates and zombies, so. You can have a little give and take. And this is one of those build mechanics where you gotta, like, has to be touching something, you know, in order to make it work. All right, we probably need more lighting in here. Although I kind of like the dim dark. Although my alchemist would probably disagree with that. So for now, you're an alchemist. You're gonna have, yeah, but it's not gonna make any sense over here. No. We will keep it simple. That looks like a candle an alchemist would have. Ooh, nice. A little bit spooky. Ooh, excuse me. Charming. Really? Why not? Foolishness. Do not trifle with me. But the minute I move this is when it's going to go awry. That's pretty cool. All right. Hold on. Yeah, but it's just with that. Maybe you don't see that. And I wish it would stay wherever you left it last. And then, you know, so that way you could go back instead of having to scroll through all of this. So if you like ended here and you picked apart from this lighting menu, when you came back in, it would be here. And then, you know, when you restart the game, it defaults back to, you know, this. But, you know, if I want to keep, you know, adding, you know, different lighting, you know, I don't want to have to keep, you know, having to scroll every time, you know. Not that it's a huge deal. I'm just, you know, quality of life sort of thing. I wish it, and copy and paste, you know, a copy, at least a copy. You know, look at something, copy it, and then that way you don't have to go into the build menu. That would be nice. Hey, you've got magic rings and whatnot in this game. All right, I'm doing something. What is it I'm doing? I have no idea. But now, no, even so. All right, what if I do it like this? What if I go backwards? And... I do that. Put this on here. Take you. Like so. Okay, so we could do something like that. Perfect. Okay, I just wanted to know if that would work. But now, if I remove the floor, you'll stay. All right. All right. Okay, we're learning. We're learning it. Seeing how things work in this game. Can I bring that over? All right, that takes everything though. All right, good to know. That's a little weird. So if I take this and say I want to... do something like that. Now that is nice. Ha ha ha. Boogly, boogly, boogly. Look at that. I'm sure I'm not the first one to do this, obviously, but we have a real flame underneath our kettle. And then all we would need to do is make that somehow look better because it's floating in the air. So let's figure out how to do that. And at the same time, let's try to... Do we get better chandeliers? Because the ones that we got now are kind of not so good. Relatively boring, if I might even say so. All right, so here is the problem with that. So while we have this cool flame on that, we now need to cover that up with something because it's probably going to be some sort of a beam. But even that, I'm not digging on. And I can't probably do... Oh. I have to think about this one a little bit more. I might have to go higher. Oh, okay. Hold on. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah, you're going to want to have to do some work to get some nuttiness to go down in this game. Alright, so if I do that... Turn snapping back on... We can... No. Nay, nay, nay. Hello. For now, yeah. All right, let's think about this. But this is like, it's almost where it should be right there. All right, so... I need something at the level of that, which you are not going to do. Oh, yes, you are. But now you're not. Oh, okay. Yeah, the up and down thing doesn't quite work. Like, it's weird in how you have to get it to work. But now, this doesn't need to be here. Because we're now going to bring in that, which now, son of a biscuit. Oh, there we go. But that needs to be lower than that. All right, so that needs... All right, so let's put this here. Get that working, right? And then... And let's bring that forward a little bit. Where can we put this? It's a little bit better. No, you know what? This is fine. Whatever. It's all experimenting anyway. All right, so... All right, you need to be against something. For that to really work. So if that's the case, if I do something like this. And that lets me... Yeah, let me know how the audio is for that, please. Yeah, gonna be a lot of fiddling. I can sense it now. Alright, I'm not liking that anyway. But we can do something with this here. Excellent. Thank you, Levi. Appreciate that. That ain't too shabby tabby. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious right here. Well, I think that worked out pretty darn swell. All right, so TV audio is good as well. Thank you. I've spent the past few days, like, what little free time I have after work, trying to sort out this stupid audio stuff in the game, and you know, with OBS and this new software. Ooh, pardon me. Hey, Titan. Yeah, for me, it's wavelength changed. You know, they're like, well, you can still use the legacy one. We've already renamed it Legacy, so that tells you we're not really going to support it. We're going to concentrate on this one. And it doesn't work as advertised, at least for me. And the simple setup isn't quite so simple. But I have a feeling it has, because it's designed to work with OBS Studio as opposed to OBS. And I think that might be the problem. Well, that looks better already. And we have a flame in there. That actually looks like it's doing something. Unlike before, not that it was a bad looking piece. Oh, damn it. I ain't moving all that. And we're, you know, I'm just playing around. I will probably redo this again when I create their own environment. You know, each one of these will, you know, there'll be a kitchen and we'll have a bar, and we'll have, the alchemists will have their own little area, and you know, et cetera, whatever, you know, we get. And the you know, the vendors and everything will get their own section. But right now, Titan, everything sounds decent. Like if I have background music on with the game and my voice, you know, granted it'll be different per game, but I can turn things up and down. So yeah, I like my new little redo. We could probably do it a little bit nicer. But now we have an actual flame inside, and it isn't floating off the ground. Everything looks appropriate. All right, excellent. Oh, thank you. I should probably plant something in there. But now I've added this candle into the alchemist's, little burning pot thing. And now I want to bring this up so you can actually see what we did. But yeah. Now we have an actual flame under the pot, which I think works out quite well. Now I want to move that candle because now that's distracting. And we will pick another style candle that will be different and put that right here. And then we will move you. Actually, you know what? We need to get rid of you now. Look at that. It's got a nice little glow. Now it's like a thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. And this is the kind of stuff I like to do. I like to, take the part that I look at. I'm like, it's neat. I understand where they're coming from, but, what can we do to make it our own? Not to improve necessarily or whatnot, because it fits the environment the way it is, obviously. But how can we make it our own thing? And that's what I did with No Man's Sky and what I try to do with any building mechanic that I actually get into. I really want to get into Satisfactory's building mechanic, but the math to get things and keep things moving is just a little too much for my little brain. But the build mechanic is good. The parts, I love the look of everything. So it definitely has nothing to do with anything like that. Because other than that, that game it's a great game, and it's a great game. It's fun. I have nothing at all bad to say about Satisfactory. I really enjoyed it and still do. And once they fully release the update and Katrina and I can, go back onto the server, I think it'll be considerably more fun at that point. Oh yeah, I made these little hanging light posts. I'm sure this has been done as well. I mean, again, I'm probably not going to do too much in the way of new. But I made these, over the door light. I kind of was like, I need an over the door light. So I made that last night when I was messing with the audio. Every once in a while I'd go back to the game and I'd mess around. I'd build something. And I'm like, all right, don't get distracted. Because I had the game running in the background so I could test the audio, So I've added a little bit to our, our square shack. And, we'll, as we learn and create, different techniques and blah, 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 All right, let's collect and replant. Oh, and I think I naturally have, I do. I naturally have cayenne pepper growing back here, which is pretty awesome. so I don't need to grow it. Well, I mean, you know, if we want more, obviously, we definitely need to. All right, fruits and nuts. That's the other thing they need to do, is we need better labeling for our signs, you know, for obvious reasons. You know, kind of like I did with these. You know, I didn't care for the way they looked, you know, so I just kind of made my own version, you know, by dressing it up a little bit. It'd be nice if the door opened or something on this. For being a more advanced smelter, again, this is so reminiscent of Valheim in a lot of ways. It's like Valheim with pirates, but less grindy and way more fun combat, especially with the you know, with the ship combat. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a breather here. I need to. I worked all day, so I don't have a ton of time to stream. But what time is it? I got a little bit. I got home early enough. Tomorrow I should be able to stream, though. I think I have a short day, but then I'll wake up tomorrow and I have like 8 jobs instead of what I have right now. And then I'll be pissed. But currently I have a pretty decent day. I might be able to get back in time to do some streaming. All right, I'm going to take a quick breather so that I may take a lab break, and then we will return with a little more Valheim and nah, see, I need to set this up. This is too much right next to each other, but it, you know, but the table, yeah, no, that doesn't work. We'll make it work at some point. All right. There we go. All right, if you got to get going, thanks for stopping in tonight. This is not normally one of my normal days, but I figured, you know, I needed to do an audio test, and then that way when my normal days come up, we are, you know, all set, or at least close to it. I'm still having some trouble with separating the audio. I should have my own mix, and then if in the mix on, I just think OBS takes over with this particular thing. With this newer software that, you know, the Elgato WaveSync. So, anyway, I'll be back. If you're still here when I get back, thank you. And we'll see you shortly. If you're not, thank you as well for stopping in and giving me some of your time. And normally we're on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you again if you got to get going. But I need to go use the laboratory soon. I'll be right back. And now we got to get into our...
It's a mellow scene. Lights flicker soft like a faded dream. Laser beams cut through the rain. Easy vibes drifting like a train. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Raindrops tap, not a soul around. Everything's still and my mind's unwound. Shapes in the mist, colors so bright. Nip, nip haze, feels like midnight. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow. Nip, nip in the air, feeling so right. Chasing lights, lasers in the night. All the pretty shapes, they spin so slow. Roll the smoke, let the rhythm flow.
Alrighty, we're back. Alright. I think we can improve on that a little bit more. We need more light, though. There it is. That's better there. Okay. I like that. That's a little better. All right. All right. Let's see how our night lights are doing, our hanging door lights. Yeah. I like those. We're going to make more of those. I think we need to fancify those a little bit more on the top. This railing I did last night as well. I didn't like the way that when they join, it's two like sticks, and it just didn't. I hate that. You know, it doesn't look appropriate. It's fine for a singular rail, but if you want to extend it like this, the pattern, you kind of need to cover it somehow with a beam or something. Okay, let's get back up onto here. Oh, shoot. All of my scaffold is gone. All right. Easily fixed, remedied. All right. I may not need that right now, actually. Don't like the color. Or do I? No, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's okay. That works. That works. All right. Build camera. How many times do I need to tell a game? Build camera. If you have a build mechanic, it requires a build camera. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want to hear any excuses. Build camera. And again, this one is already partway there. Hey, look at that. Build camera. Okay, now don't have this cat move, but move the camera instead of the character. Lock the camera, then add the character movement to the camera. Right? Right? Or are those stone? Oh, that's why it looked right. No, we're not doing stone. Snapping on. No, I don't want these. We just went over that. You like the way they look. That's not... Okay, they need maybe a full-size one of these. This is a little too fancy, but I'll take it. You might need to change it, but for right now, it will work. And this is a little too crude, you know? Like we need that something in between. And I need to learn how to build traditional old style, or I'm gonna have to, I mean, I gotta learn how to build in the game, period. I gotta learn the mechanic. But Maybe. Possibility. A good possibility. But we may decide to change that. Okay.
All right.
And I know. I'm getting used to the parts and how they look and what I can do with them, because this is not a very good looking structure. I get it. We'll get there eventually. Right now, it looks like crap. All right, let's do. What are our window and door choices here? Let's see. And we're not going to use these yet. That's too fancy. This could work. That does not move up and down. It should. But I wonder if... Now let's turn snapping off here. No. Even with snapping off, it does not. Okay. And this should be a D-pad movement. All of this should be a D-pad movement here. Down, left, right, up. I mean, this, I think you can keep this as well, like I'm in joysticks. I wonder if I can change that. Moron, you need to see, right? All right, temporary lighting. Ooh, patterns. I like that. All right, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? All right, we're gonna need to remove you. This is going to make absolutely no sense, though. All right, now we need to see something. All right. I think it's in decorative. How much do you stick out in the back? That is my question. It's actually not too bad. I could almost live with that. However, all right, I know how we'll fix that. That's not a big deal. That'll go up later, and maybe not even here. I just want to see what these pieces look like and what they do. Ah, look at that. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Good to know. All right. Or do we want to just keep the freaking window there? We'll do a fireplacey bit somewhere else. Just I like having the views up here, you know? Alright, let's just do the window. For now. Yeah, that's not horrible. I could live with that. For now, I guess. That's supposed to be a window? Yeah. We will use it as a door. And I'm eating through my supplies. It's really starting to... I'm starting to feel the pain. Interesting. Would there be a reason for me to do that? Had to sneeze. No, there would be no reason for me to do that. That looks silly. This does not. Is there a reason for me to do something like this? Is there? Can I find a reason? And I'm also probably missing stuff still. You let me get a lot closer. Oh. And at that point, just use the appropriate window. But I do like the candle working in the window. I think that's pretty nice. I wonder what the draw distance on that is. All right. That works. Not with this lighting, but it does work. That's too much lighting. No. We can get our light source from something else for now until we figure it out and not light it right direct. I think that is part of our problem. Well, you have a hanging bit. Oh, but it's not. It's flat, just like all the rest of them. Okay. I mean, we could shelve it. Ooh. Ooh. All right, hold on. All right, we need construction lights. Jeez Louise. They're already better. We'll probably end up using those at some point. I was debating on adding another floor here. So removing this window. And then having a stairway that goes up to another kind of upper area. I don't know. You know how I work. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right, so now we need a floor. Let's go with something a little flatter looking, just so it's easier for me to measure with. You know, that's why, like it should just be D-pad, down, left, right, over, you know. And this as well. They should have both. Yeah, but I don't even have chain link yet. Otherwise, I would probably do that. Because right now, what I've been doing is I've been adding a beam, like a post rather, off the ceiling. And then I drop them on that at the end of that. But what we're doing right here is, and this going back and forth in and out of the menu to get what you need is somewhat of a pain as well. I'm not digging on that. And we need to go down a little bit. All right, we'll try with this one before we run a whole slew of floors. Now comes the tricky part. Matching it up. Which more than likely is not going to happen. Actually, I don't even need the floor for this. Surprising enough. Well, this one is definitely a little trickier than that one was. A little bit on that one. This one's a little more. And eventually, I will stop building here and find a real place to build. Is there chain pieces, by the way, Titan? I guess that's it. Never mind then. Uh-oh. We lost music. Still setting up my stream decks and everything too. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. I know it's not piratey music, but we're building stuff. And for me, it's just something to help drown out the background noise. Oh boy, what's going on? I'm probably going to be ending shortly because it is a work night for me, so I do have to. You know what? I haven't grown any aloe. Can I delete that? No, once it's grown. Okay, once you plant it, it's planted. Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow morning. But I feel you, my friend. It gets a little cluttered here. I can kind of bring it out to the edge. Yeah, bizarre. All right, we're gonna have some rando stuff going on here. But we always need to see how stuff works, so. What does what? Can we get away with what? I saw a green light here a little while ago, but it was at a bit of a distance. Because sometimes it's a height thing. So Hellboy, I put a flame underneath the pot and made this a little bit different. I redid this whole thing. What's going on here? What are you? What are you in my floor over here? Ah, you are you? You are you. Do we have anything like you that is not stone? We will work that into the ceiling somehow. Yeah, no, I just realized that, Titan. I forgot that was made out of stone. Does this open? It's still stone. Stone. Yeah, we don't have really much in the way of that there. Oh, we have cross ones. I didn't even see that. Okay. Then we got these little lights recessed into the wall. Little modern touch. Yeah, well, so here's a couple things, Hellboy, I did. So I wanted a light hanging in front of the door, you know. So you got to have something. It's got to be touching something, basically, for the most part. There's definitely some other little quirky things. But you know, I wanted something like that. You got to build scaffold a lot, you know, for a lot of this stuff. Thinking maybe bringing that wall out, having it step a little bit, maybe. I mean, it has a faux appearance of another layer, you know what I mean? With that beam that goes across. You know, and as they, you know, settled, as we settled here as our, you know, our pirate band, you know, we learned skills and trades along the way. So it started as like, you know, collecting rocks on the beach and cutting down some trees. And finally, you know, we were able to get some, you know, get some other tools going. Yeah, if I had the chain, I would have hung it. You know what I mean? The downside, though, is the ring on top of those lamps is laying down. So, you know, it will always look a little bit off. Okay, you don't see the torches. You see the big fire. All right, that needs to... We need to move that. Just want to see if I still have access to all of my... cutting it close, but yeah, okay. I'm like, I don't know about that. Oh, this might be an issue. Ooh. The seeds. I'm going to have to move the seeds. That's okay. I can put them with the food. Well, we can always move the fire again. It just happened to be in a good spot. I mean, it's basically just you're moving your building, but it also affects your storage and what you can gather, like, you know, and use in that area. Like, I kind of want it there, but at the same time, I'm like, no. All right, we'll put it here. Right on, homie. We'll have to figure out what's going on in your work time and my downtime and your downtime and see if we have anything that meets up at some point soon. If I do that, yeah, that's better. Double practice. Sounds like me getting out of bed in the morning. Or hell out of my chair. Very interesting. Whoa. It's weird how it goes from dirt to grass. I'm just trying to see if there's a correlation to anything. Doesn't appear to be. Seems a little random. I mean, obviously where the grass is already, that makes sense. I don't like these don't line up to grid. It's a little off. See what I mean? I mean, I guess it, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, if you will. Let's see, how big around is this? Okay. It's a 3. I would like to learn them. Waste of a resource. And it doesn't even show the... You know what? No, I don't like that either. Alright, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We are gonna what? First, we're gonna get rid of that. And then we're gonna go... We're gonna do building slash unbuilding. All right, so and I'm sure we get like a hewn stone floor at some point. We'll just try out some ideas, you know. Okay. That's fine. I have no problem with that. What I do have an issue with is the lack of snap points. Like it'll do that, but it won't let me cross over here. Oh, there's not like a shiny floor, like a cathedral floor, you know what I mean? So, And since we don't have a triangular version of that floor, or a small version of this floor, you know, we're kind of subject to dealing with that. So the next thing is, and it doesn't go, so. And you can't do a floor. Because it's the same as the thingamajiggy. You can do... to an extent, and then it locks up. And I probably wouldn't do... Yeah, I've tried a bunch of things, and it's not worth going through that much effort, you know. It would be nice if it just snapped normally, and you didn't have to, you know, put in that over-the-top effort. And then this happens. Because it's not snap, it's, I don't know, it's like choosing its snap or something. Yeah, see, it wants to snap to that. If I do that first, 1, 2. But then that takes up that snap point, that corner snap point. All right, let's try. And then I gotta get going. Bye. Builder's Hush. Learning a new build mechanic is always interesting. Why? Okay, you're red stating. All right, you need to be built first. And then this needs to be built around it. Or something along those lines. Okay. I see what it is. I think. What? I went through all that stone? Wow. Do you know how much stone I had? Unbelievable, man. And a whole box full of stone. Wants to tell me I don't got enough. What kind of BS is that? And actually, I'm kind of wondering. It won't let me. No, I would have to frickin' do that ahead of time. That's okay. We'll just take it to the flat part. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep more of it open anyway, more negative space in it. And I'm playing right now. I'm not, I'm thinking of, if I make this work, can I put it in a cooler environment? But why not try it now, While I've got the idea fresh in my head. Oh, you're going to be a super pain in my butt, huh? Oh, no, you're not. You're going to be all right. All right. Although now I can't get out. No. Alright, now we do that. Come back into here. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's better. And I don't even need the other bit. But how can I make this look better? I know. What time is it? Damn it. I hate when I start getting ideas. And then I gotta go. Hehehe. All right, how tall is that? That's the other thing we need to figure out. All right, so now let's get... Damn it. Yeah, I won't do anything with that in the way. All right, so for now, we're going to keep it because I don't feel like dealing with everything, and I'm going to just close it up, call it the pattern, and then I need to eat dinner and get ready to go to work tomorrow. But I'm going to hopefully be on tomorrow during the day, which will be a nice change of pace. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, actually. If I can. Hopefully my workday does not... Oh, I can't do that shit. That's right. I gotta... Fuck. You see where I'm going with the idea, right? Something like this. And just, you know, so you don't have to see the fire. I mean, the smoke will obviously always kind of be around, and you'll have to deal with that. And I'm hoping we get this in a different texture. I'm hoping we get the same textures in all the shapes, you know. That would be nice. Or we could manually place the floor, but that's just asking for a world of hurt. Son of a bitch. I was hoping the rest of that would hold it in. Damn it. I was hoping it would be just enough with those points touching. However, I was proven wrong. Okay, so if I can't do that, we can do that. Is it a proximity thing? Is it I don't have enough? No, I got stones. But Gonna have to put like a standard floor there probably, I'm guessing. We're not gonna do this, by the way. I'm just curious. And I haven't really seen most of the parts that I've unlocked so far. Alright, shoot. I didn't even realize what time it is. I gotta get rolling. I need to eat some food. And get ready to go to sleep. Just out of curiosity, would you go over the top of this? No, I have a feeling all it has to do with is... And let's find out. Ah, look at that, though. That kills the light. Crazy. But we could fix that by doing some other things. Which I'm really kind of, yeah, all right, I have an idea for this building mechanic. At least I think I do. Just something, you know. I wish we could do it vertical, but I have yet to figure out a vertical circle yet in the game. I'm hoping I will. I don't think it's possible. I think the mechanic would frown upon it. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. We will be back more than likely tomorrow unless my day changes. And then, well... we will be working. Yeah, see, craziness happens. All right, we'll see what we can do with that. This creates a neat little foggy bit too, which is kind of cool. But you definitely want to have your, you know, all your stuff situated. Your terrain and whatnot. But, yeah, it's neat. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a good start to an idea. And that's always a good place to start. So, all right, y'all. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of whatever you got going on. Until next time, this has been me, Kevin C. here at Action Pants Gaming, wishing all of you... Yar pirates out there, a little bit of love, peace, and pirate ship grease. Get your action pantaloons on and get out there, start building some wild and wacky stuff. All right, y'all. Take care. We'll see you soon. Until next time. Bye, everybody. Where's that ending button? Oh, yeah, right here.
Action Pants Gaming. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. Laid back. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing parts together. Throwing parts. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Gonna make it right. Chill vibes tonight. Chill vibes tonight. Laid back life. No stress, no fight. No stress, no fight. Throwing pots together. Crafting all night. Get ready to build. Let's make it right. Let's make it right.